At the heart of Nigeria lies a land blessed by nature, shaped by history, and defined by resilience. This is Benue State, Nigeria's food basket. 50 years after its creation, Benue stands at a crossroad of memory and possibility. Benue State was born on the 3rd of February 1976, following the division of the old Benue Plateau State by the military administration of General Murtala Muhammad. The creation of Benue was not accidental, it was deliberate, rooted in the need to bring governance closer to the people and to give a voice, identity, and autonomy to the diverse ethnic nationalities that populate the Benue Valley. For the Tiv, Idoma, Igede, and other ethnic groups, Benue became more than a political entity. It became home. Benue was envisioned as an agrarian powerhouse, a land where fertile soil would translate into prosperity. Nicknamed the food basket of the nation, Benue was designed to feed Nigeria and sustain itself through agriculture, trade, and communal enterprise. Yet, beyond agriculture, Benue's essence lay in its people, resilient, industrious, and deeply rooted in community. The dawn of civilian rule in 1979 ushered in a defining chapter in Benue's history. At its helm stood Governor Aparaku. Aparaku laid the foundations of modern Benue, strengthening the civil service, promoting education, and setting the pace for infrastructural growth. It was an era of structure, vision, and hope, a period many remember as Benue's first great leap. Years later, another transformative figure emerged, Reverend Father Moses Oshio Adasu. Adasu brought moral clarity and developmental intent to governance, emphasizing rural development, education, and infrastructural expansion. His tenure reaffirmed the belief that Benue could still rise. But after these promising eras, Benue began to falter. Economic instability, weak institutions, insecurity, and policy inconsistency gradually eroded the gains of earlier years. Agriculture suffered, infrastructure decayed, opportunities diminished. For many, Benue's promise seemed to be slipping away. Then came a turning point, a man whose leadership would signal a fresh chapter.
I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
As an elder, experiencing the existence of Benue State for the last 50 years, I can say clearly that Benue has had an experience of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The legacies of Governor Aparaku were principally centered on industrialization of the state. He also did a lot of work in agricultural development and agro-allied, and he did considerable work also in the development of youth, especially in the sports angle. Later along the way, we also had Governor Moses Oshio Adasu, who focused on education, creating for us Benue State University, became the first northern state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to own a private university, a state university. That was a tremendous development. Another positive legacy one could recall stems from some work which Governor Susam started in infrastructure and did a few strides in creating some infrastructure for the state. I think these foundations, if they were built on over the period, we should have been a well-developed state by now. But I must say that it is now, with the coming of Reverend Father Hyacinth Yomem Alia, that is beginning to build back on those legacies of industrialization, which Apereku started. As we can see, Benue investment property company reviving industries and creating new ones. And we also see development in education, which Moses Adasu pioneered. We can see the establishment of a new university in Hugh, the conversion of what has started as a polytechnic in Adipo into a campus of the Benue State University. These are good developments. And lastly, I would say that we're beginning to also see a more, systematic infrastructural renewal and development in the amount of roads that have been created in our cities, Makodi, Otukpo, Boko, etc. And even in the rural areas, the development in those areas.
The 50 years of Benue State, indeed for Benue's people, and indeed for Idoma people, is a journey of resilience, loyalty, and purposeful contribution. From the very beginning of the Benue project, Idoma Nation has embraced the ideas of unity, shared destiny, and also peaceful coexistence. Our people have consistently demonstrated commitment to the growth and the stability of the state, even in the face of political transition and also developmental challenges. Over the decades, the Idoma have made a remarkable contribution indeed in the governance, public service, education and security, agriculture, and nation building. Our sons and daughters have served with the distinction at the state and national levels, contributing intellect, integrity, and leadership. Idoma land has also remained the vital pillar of agricultural production, human capital development, and cultural enrichment within Benue State, our dear state. Above all, the Idoma people have stood as a bridge of peace, choosing dialogue over division and progress over parochialism. The legacy of moderation, service, and unity remain one of our proudest contributions to Benue's 50 years story, and it's a historic event.
Immediately we came in, we had to declare an emergency on our road infrastructure. Our roads are in a very bad shape, very pitiable shape. So we now had to do again a new thinking on if we want investors to come to the state, invest, put their money here, and then help us to develop our state, to grow our state, then it meant that we had to give them some new roads where they would be able to come even by road to get to our own states. We have now begun work on a number of drainages. Some are concluded, quite a number are awarded, so work is still ongoing there. Roads again were a problem. We initially gave 16 number of roads here. The contractors kept to their own word. The 16 road streets were already concluded, and when I'm talking of roads, I'm talking of professional concrete, asphalted roads that were designed, built, and rounded up. On Makurdi again was a sorry sight. We couldn't walk around it in the night. Bad guys had taken charge of Makurdi, so we needed to find a way around it. We created a route to put solar lights. So we now solarized the entire town of Makurdi, rather the entire city of Makurdi.
We moved into this place. And this place has been like that for a very long time. From 1985 to this day to 2004, the road was bad. You can't come here around 6, 7 and go free because of bad boys, due to the bad road and the big trees. This road, some boys use it as avenue of raping girls, stealing, go under and smoking. At times, this is where some boys come and practice their evil ways. To the glory of God in 2024, Allah came to our rescue. He gave us new life. He gave us air. He gave us freedom. The road is good now with light. No more stealing, no more stopping on the way.
Again, majority of the streets are covered. We are now counting on a number of streets that once the roads are watered are done with, then we move in also to have them solarized. You now go down to Zone C, very major roads that had created a disconnect between the local governments are now recognized and roads there are done. From Gwe East into Oju local government, some road there, it's being done as I'm speaking. They had the grading, it's done. They are now asphalting it. They are putting the coal tile on it. We have a measure to be applied here. So it's a very standard, national standard of road build that we are doing in the state here. And then they're going to have a very long lifespan. Well, I'm not talking of MBA Kotai. I'm talking of very durable, solid roads here. And they're quite expensive, but we need something that will be quite lasting for us. Come to the health sector again, terrible infrastructure. Again, in a very pitiable state. The structures themselves were quite bad, extremely bad. So we now are working currently on all the 23, and then in all the 23 local governments, with all the government health clinics. We have visited them, and then the primary health services as well.
Now, I want to tell you confidently that what the governor has been able to achieve in these 2 years, no governor has done it. First is that he at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital has awarded contracts of over 13 billion to equip the whole hospital, including giving us a CT scan, a 64-slide CT scan that is nowhere around this region. That is one. 2, IVF equipment, in vitro fertilization equipment. There was started IVF in this hospital. So at the lowest cost you can find anywhere in this country, people just pay 400,000 naira and they buy their drugs. Nowhere. This is just the first or second state teaching hospital in this country to do IVF. The health care here at the teaching hospital is so low that pregnant women give birth here at 5,000 naira only. Is the cheapest again anywhere within this region. The governor also embarked on a cancer center. This is the first teaching hospital in this country to embark on a cancer center project. That cancer center project will engulf close to 20 billion naira. So, second teaching hospital to start IVF, first state teaching hospital to own a cancer center, first state teaching hospital to begin a center for children with special needs.
Governor Alia has harnessed the power of collaboration and partnerships to reaffirm the need for sustainable development and positive change in Benue State and even beyond. The People's Governor has emphasized on 7 key areas in sync with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, particularly in security, human capital, infrastructure, agriculture, commerce, ICT, and governance. As Benue clocks 50, an update of the state's milestones in governance is marked mostly in the last 3 years of Governor Alia's administration. Governor Alia has justified his mandate through a renewed focus on education, massive infrastructural development, and the revamping of ailing state-owned establishments, each given credence to his pledge to grow a new Benue.
We took a data of our primary schools, so many primary schools, and then we had to build new ones, revamp the other ones that had existed, and we worked through SUBEB up on 253 schools that we built new ones. We upgraded some even with the story buildings, and then some the regular structures, and then those who only required augmentation, we did the refurbishing. So work is ongoing. Some have completed. I think 80% are concluded. Another 20% they're trying to round up with that.
Before His Excellency came on board, we had a scenario where teachers didn't even know their salaries. We have a scenario where every month some names were dropped from the PV, others were added without proper variations. A lot of things were going on. But with the courage of His Excellency and his support, we were able to implement automated payroll system, which has addressed these issues of half salary payment, issues of unknown salaries of staff. Most staff did not know their salaries. They could not see pay slips. Nothing was being disposed to them nothing at their disposal to see that this is what I earn per month. But now we have been able to do that. There were issues of non-implementation of promotions. We've been able to do that. Issues of incremental steps and issues of improper implementation of the last minimum wage. His Excellency has come and ensured that even the last one that was not implemented was implemented, and the one of 70,000 declared by the federal government was implemented as 75,000 naira. So the issue of teacher welfare has been properly addressed in this administration. In building and renovating schools, if you go around the state, we have story buildings, we have some completed projects. About close to 100 projects have been completed already, and we're hoping that before the end of this year we'll commence execution of other projects as well.
Governor Hyacinth Alia appointed a business mogul, first of its kind in Benue, to turn around the state's fortune in industrialization in person of Dr. Raymond Asemakaha, Group Managing Director, Benue Investment and Property Company BIPC, have so far been transformative, creating an industrial drive and manufacturing initiatives that are transforming the state's economy and creating employment opportunities.
My name is Dr. Raymond Asemakaha, CFA, Group Managing Director, Benue Investment and Property Company Limited. When we came in, we noticed that the economy was a negative growth of minus 3.2%. And what we had to do was to do market correction, stability, and accelerated growth. We had to introduce quickly what they call the future rating, because no investor will come to invest in a capital or in a state like this when they don't have a rating. That was a deliberate effort to ensure that you redirect the economy to where it is. And that's why we quickly introduced the micro and macro businesses that would quickly introduce the bread factory, the bakery factory, and the water factory. Those are deliberate efforts to mitigate and correct the market in terms of pricing and in terms of ensuring that those goods are available for inclusive governance. We also went ahead to ensure that we introduced the water factory because the price of water was also expensive, 700 per bag, and people were not having value for money. When we quickly introduced that, because BIPC is running as a business, even though it's a government arm of government, it was running strictly as a business. So we introduced that to mitigate and control the pricing in the market.
On assumption of office, Dr. Asemakaha set out to establish new industries and also drive those that were moribund. This was done with the intention of further improving the lives of Benue citizens and also adding to the GDP growth of the state's economy.
We bought 100 trucks, Hilux trucks, for our security groupings, and then 600 motorbikes for them to get out there in the suburbs and the lonesome areas to comb. So it was quite beneficial for the state. We also rejigged the Operation Zinda. Operation Zinda is a task force comprising the civil defense, the military, and the police, in combination with then the local vigilante. We also had to add some more joint task force because the attacks became too rampant. These attacks were even quite calibrated, very targeted and calculated and then executed because they simultaneously happened from one local government to the other. And bad enough, they've been attacking those local governments that are even the primary headquarters of food production in the state, in the region, and then nationally.
When we took over government, we had a situation where on a peer-to-peer review basis, Benue scored 36 out of 36 states in fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility is a measure where credible people look at the government and say, how are you managing your resources? Are you accounting for it properly? How are you being responsible with the funds allocated to you? How is your procurement process? How is your accounting process? And we scored last perpetually. This year, I want to say, I'm happy to say that we are 9th in the country. So we moved from 36 to 9. That's a huge leap. And we want to be number 1. We've done this by ensuring that there's accountability. What you're supposed to do, just do it. Do it the first time, do it right, do it always, and make sure it's done according to the best standard possible. We've eliminated as much as possible those things that have kept us in those horrible numbers. So the only reason we've survived this long without borrowing money is because we've become fiscally responsible. We've become more accountable to the people. We've treated government money like government money. You need to do all those things so that you can, no matter how much money you bring to the system, if you are not fiscally responsible, you are going to you won't achieve much. So that is what we've done. There are agencies of government that we've emboldened and strengthened. The Fiscal Responsibility Commission, which is state, already has an agency, is more responsible, is doing its work. We've strengthened the procurement process. The Procurement Commission is now staffed by people who are qualified and engaged in everything done in government. The Ministry of Finance has a unit called the Efficiency Unit. They check contracts, they ensure that monies given out are utilized properly. So there's an array of things done. And let me say, our governor, with his eagle eye, checks everything that comes in, checks everything that goes out. Nothing passes through his careful scrutiny. That I think is the major reason why we are where we are today.
Ihe ya nso wosi Governor of Benue State, His Excellency, Reverend Dr. Hassan Talia. I told do. The Tana Kakumanyo Churuka, ha. Member mother would deal with Gonariana Vega Yam do the same good a young one. But again, the G no, Utri Hadiko, he was Johnson. I will tell you, girl, you are a Gakuma, feminine, look to her. No can I do the girl who do the hunger. What a clear indication that
The economic impact of the bank has been tremendous so far, and we thank His Excellency Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Omemalia so much for the support he has given to the bank. It's his baby because he's the one who processed the license from CBN and obtained the license and then set up the bank to commence operations. And so he has also been very supportive. The administration has been supportive to the bank, ensuring that we have funding enough for us to take off and for us to be able to assist small and medium enterprises, nano small and medium enterprises.
It is my desire and my hope for everybody in the state to test it, to feel it, to know it, and to proclaim that Aliado.